Hey guys, Killix here, multi-rank 1 in PvP, Mythic Plus, and the #1 version collector in North America. Before we dive in, make sure to join the Discord for add-on strings and settings, and follow me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/KilliKTV to watch the grind in real time. Now, if you're a collector chasing mounts, pets, transmogs, toys, titles, achievements, or even just trying to 100% complete the game, there's one add-on that will completely change your entire life in this game. It's called All the Things, aka ATT. By the end of this video, you'll know how to install it, set it up, and most importantly, how to actually use it properly without getting completely overwhelmed. So what is All the Things? It's basically WoW's ultimate collection tracker. It covers mounts, pets, toys, transmogs, recipes, professions, achievements, titles, flight paths, exploration areas, quests, unlocks, PvP rewards, trading post items, black market auction house items, seasonal events, literally everything. Basically, if it's collectible in WoW, ATT knows about it. It shows what you already own, what you're missing, and how to get it, zone by zone, boss by boss, vendor by vendor. But it doesn't just list what you already own. It shows what you're still missing and where to get it. Whether you're a casual player who just wants to see progress or a hardcore 100% collector like me, ATT organizes it in a very simple category-like manner that are very easy to navigate and look through and figure out what you want to go next and get next on your account. Now let's talk about how you actually use ATT, because this is where most people fall off. You install the add-on, you open it up, you're excited, but suddenly 500,000 collectible items are staring at you in the face. It's extremely overwhelming even for veteran collectors. It's overwhelming for me. My honest advice is to start small. Instead of trying to conquer the entire master list on day one, open up the mini list. Guys, the mini list is your best friend. It only shows you what's missing in that zone, that dungeon, or that raid you're currently in. That's it. Just relevant, actionable progress right where you are at the moment. Think of it like this. You log in, you go to a zone, you open the mini list, and you farm what's missing. It's simple. Every mount, every toy, every pet, every transmog, every achievement you check off is a +1. Start with the easy stuff. Knock out the collectibles that take little to no effort. As things get harder, you have a choice. You push through if you're motivated to complete that hard grind, or you move on to the next zone and you come back later. That flexibility is what keeps collecting fun instead of stressful. This is going to prevent you from burning out. This is exactly how I started my own collecting journey. I went after the fastest, easiest rewards first to build momentum, and when I hit walls like rare drops or time-gated grinds or things that just took forever to get, I didn't burn out trying to force it and trying to get it right there. I just moved on to the next thing and circled back later whenever I wanted to when my collection was further progressed. The point is, you don't need to clear everything in one sitting. Treat it like a long-term project. The more progress you stack up, the fewer quote-unquote easier wins that remain. That's when you naturally transition into tackling the harder stuff. By then, you already have the mindset and momentum to keep going. And momentum is the real secret to collecting, not perfection, not effectiveness, not min-maxing. Not trying to finish everything at once, just stacking up those little +1s. Once you're comfortable with how the mini list works, then you can expand into the full master list and use ATT as a complete account-wide tracker, track plus sources. But if you dive straight into the big list too early, you're going to get confused, you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to get burned out extremely fast. And that's the opposite of what collecting should feel like, to be honest. So remember, focus small, build momentum, and enjoy the process. Enjoy the +1s. Enjoy the little dopamine hits you get from every single item, no matter what item it is. That's like the cool thing about collecting. That's how you actually use ATT without getting overwhelmed. When it comes to installing the add-on, you're going to go to curseforge.com and download the CurseForge app. Once you get prompted here, pick either download on Overwolf, download standalone. I have both, but it doesn't really matter. Once you have the actual CurseForge app itself, we're going to open it and we're going to add our game here to the left. Make sure you can either scan your computer or manually add WoW. So as you can see, I have WoW added, retail. Then we're going to go to browse. We're just going to type all the things. It should pop up. Make sure you install this add-on. Okay. Once you download this add-on from CurseForge, you're going to tab back into the game, reload your game, and you're going to look for the ATT icon at the top right. If you left click the icon, it's going to bring up the main list, the entire list itself. If you hold down Control and left click, it's going to bring up the mini list, which is the zone specific list. Now, if you right click the add-on itself, it's going to bring up the settings menu. Note that ATT can be extremely heavy on memory usage. I would advise turning this add-on off during raid nights or Mythic Plus if your PC struggles with it. Now let's walk you through the most important options so you set it up right away from the start. The first one is going to be account mode. This is going to track everything across your entire account collection. If one alt learns anything at +1 on the account, it syncs everywhere. So if you gain a mount, a quest, a pet, an achievement, +1, that's what I call it, it'll track across your entire account. If you have account mode enabled, you can also enable faction only. This lets you filter between Horde and Alliance items only. This is great if you're sticking to one faction only. So if you're Alliance and you pick this, it's only going to show you Alliance items. If you're Horde and you pick this, it's only going to show you Horde items. The next setting is going to be debug mode. This tracks literally every single item in the game, including rings, necklaces, trinkets, and consumables. This is not necessary and should be completely turned off at all times. The next one is kind of a little niche mode, but loot mode. This is only going to track equipable slots like trinkets and necklaces as well, on top of everything else that you're tracking. I would advise turning this off unless you're specifically trying to track some sort of trinket or ring or something for some reason. Arguably the most important setting is going to be plus sources. This one's for the hardcore completionists. Many appearances drop from multiple sources. For example, the same helmet piece from 2 different raids. If you enable this, ATT requires you to collect every single source ID for it to count. So if we go to a dungeon, for example, and we look up any item and we hover over this item right here, we can see that this item has the same ID, the same appearance, sorry, not ID, on 6 separate items. So you can go collect this item 6 different times from 6 different sources and get +6s on your account for this specific appearance. Collectible categories are also another filter that you can have. This is basically going to have a checkbox for certain appearances, heirlooms, illusions, mounts, pets, toys, achievements, reputations, quests, recipes, titles, PvP rewards, seasonal events, expansion-specific systems, and more. You can toggle off these categories you don't care about. So for example, you can go down here to PvP, and if you never want to farm any PvP appearance, you can uncheck this and it'll never show you a PvP appearance on your account. The next one is going to be unobtainables. By default, I keep all of these off. You can choose whether to show removed or impossible items to acquire in the game. Note that some removed or unobtainable items are still obtainable through certain methods, like buying them from the auction house or the quantum farm. You can check out my full quantum guide down in the description below as well that I just made for that. Some collectors like seeing everything, others prefer to hide them so their collection percentage isn't permanently lowered. ATT has 2 main views that you'll constantly be using. The main list, which is opened by left clicking the ATT icon, open a massive list of everything inside the game. This shows your overall progress, missing items, gives breakdown by expansion, zones, raids, dungeons, professions, promotions, even the trading post. If the game has it, it's here. The next thing is going to be called the mini list. This is one of the best features in my opinion, and this is what I use 99% of the time that I use this add-on. Note that I mostly don't even really use the master list, I always just use the mini list. You'll access this by holding down Control, left clicking the ATT icon. If you're inside a specific zone, so for example I'm inside Dalaran right now, the mini list shows you every single item inside this zone that I am missing on my account that can be acquired. Together these 2 lists make it effortless to track both your big picture goals and your short-term goals. A quick tip is to always shift left click the minimap icon to force a refresh whenever collectibles don't update. So for example, some items like the profession items don't update unless you shift left click while you have the profession tab open. One of the most powerful features All the Things has is that it tracks every single quest in the game, rare or any sort of item. Once you learn how to navigate this, you'll be amazed just by how easy it is to see what you're missing and how to actually acquire it. Pretty much every single item, rare or quest, recipe, anything in the game comes with a built-in instruction inside ATT. This is if there's a prerequisite, requirement, or special condition that needs to be met before acquiring this item. You'll see it directly in the tooltip if you hover over the ATT item. So for example, let's take this example in Stormsong Valley, the rare Jakala the Cruel. If we go here to the bottom right and we hover over the rare, you'll see a note at the bottom that says you must be on an alliance character in order to spawn this rare. It even tells you, due to phasing issues, in order to see this rare, you need to enter from this area at these coordinates. From here, you can simply hold down Alt, right click, open your map, and see where the rare spawns. It spawns over here. Then you can fly there on an alliance character, and once you kill it, you have a chance at looting whatever you're missing from it. This level of detail removes so much guesswork. Instead of relying on multiple third-party guides, ATT tells you exactly what you're missing, what the requirements are, and exactly how to go get it. It's basically a built-in checklist and guide rolled into one. When it comes to quests, especially for older expansions, things can get overwhelming and confusing very fast. If you didn't play during that content originally, or you're coming back years later, it's easy to forget the order of tasks, which quests unlock what, and which chains you might actually accidentally skip. This is where ATT becomes your cheat sheet. It doesn't just tell you what you're missing, it actually explains how to go back and complete it. We're going to go over here, hold down Control, open the minimap. Now, what are Breadcrumb Quests? Breadcrumb Quests are short, usually simple quests that exist to point players towards the next hub or zone in the game story progression. Simple, right? Now, why are these so important? Some Breadcrumb Quests disappear forever if you complete certain other quests in that chain. Others require specific prerequisites to even show up. Missing them can lock you out of progress, forcing you to redo hundreds, if not thousands of quests on a fresh character, or rely on a party sync feature later with someone else. For 100% completionists, Breadcrumb Quests are #1 priority. If you miss them, you're in for a world of backtracking, confusion, and potentially hundreds of hours wasted regrinding the same thing you already completed in the past. Now let's look at an actual example here of Breadcrumb Quest. Notice that mine are red, so I specifically made sure that my Breadcrumb Quests are red by right-clicking ATT, going to Features or Interface, Accessibility, and clicking Color of Breadcrumb Quest and changing to whatever color you're comfortable with. I made it something that stands out, which is red for me. When we're looking at an actual Breadcrumb Quest on my account, specifically the Iron Horde Orders, this Breadcrumb Quest is in Warlords of Draenor, an extremely confusing and just mass chaotic expansion for a completionist. This expansion is full of prerequisites. You must do this to get this, you must have this to get this. It is just a chaos, guys. If you hover over the quest in ATT, the tooltip shows prerequisites plus any quest that would cause this breadcrumbs to vanish forever, or whatever you need to actually see it. If you right click it, ATT opens a full menu of every quest in the chain. In this case, in my example, I have 67.32% of the quests completed in this on this character. However, I'm still missing 50% of them. If you hover all the way down to the bottom, it'll show you the #1 quest that you need to start. ATT clearly shows you what you've done already and what's left. Now, in this example, ATT also tells us this is a breadcrumb quest that is Horde only. So if we hover over this, it says Horde only. Even though some earlier quests in this chain are shared with Alliance, without ATT you'd be guessing and wasting time. With it, you have the entire roadmap laid out. So now we know that we have to log in on a Horde character to tackle this quest line to complete this breadcrumb quest. We hover all the way at the bottom. We can also hover over the quest itself. And as long as you've logged in on this character on your account, ATT will update and it will tell you which quests have been completed by which characters. So if we have some of these quests that are completed, for example, we can hover over these characters and see which quests are completed. So if we go here, it says completed by Killax Bleeding Hollow or Obi Rice Blackrock. We can log on these characters and go tackle on whatever quest we're missing in order to acquire this breadcrumb quest. The other cool thing here is that we can customize the color of our breadcrumb quests. So we're going to right click this, we're going to go to settings, interface, accessibility, and we're going to click the color of breadcrumbs. Make sure show colors are enabled. I personally choose to make mine red, but you can make it whatever color you like. This way, whenever I see red, I know, hey, I need to stop and read and see what that quest is to make sure not to miss it. If I'm ever questing in a zone or an area trying to go for a transmog or a quest completion in that zone, my very first mission in that zone is to look for breadcrumb quests and make sure I complete them. Because breadcrumb quests are so easy to miss, you can often just not even notice that there are any. This could potentially save you dozens if not hundreds of hours in the future on your completionist grind if you do them the first time you complete a zone. Because certain quests, specifically in Legion expansion, have hundreds if not thousands of different quest prerequisites that you have to complete to be able to pick up a certain breadcrumb quest, this could potentially save you hundreds if not thousands of hours in the future if you just do them properly the first time using ATT. Another cool feature that this has is its integration with TomTom. TomTom is a coordinate add-on that puts coordinates on your map, on your cursor, where you're at, and it shows you how to easily navigate throughout the world to find certain things. ATT becomes insanely powerful with this integration. All you have to do, for example, if we're looking for Headhunter Joe, this quest to get these 2 transmog items, we're going to hold down Alt, right click, and we're going to open our map. We're going to see here it's going to put a coordinate on our map at the top right, and this is where you pick up this quest to go get those 2 transmog items. You can do this with every single item in the game. So if you're looking for a vendor, you're looking for a recipe, anything, it'll put it on your map. The other thing is this quest requires certain prerequisites. So the way we're going to find that out is we're going to right click the quest and it's going to bring up a giant list of prerequisites that I need to complete in order to access this quest and get these 2 items. So you can see I have to complete all of these quests to be able to pick up this quest to get these items. Now let's dive straight into my own personal settings inside ATT. I track nearly everything in World of Warcraft, but over the years I've fine-tuned my setup to keep things clean, organized, and less overwhelming for myself. If you play on multiple accounts like I do, here's a crucial tip. Conduits don't sync up properly across accounts. On the account where I've finished all of them, I keep it enabled. On my secondary account where I have no conduits, I completely disable it. This prevents your collection progress from showing incorrectly and keeps your overall stats accurate. One of my favorite quality of life settings that I've recently discovered this year actually is under interface, and if we go to the right, show remaining things. Normally ATT shows X out of Y how many items you own out of the total pool. With this option checked, it only shows what you're still missing. For example, it puts a number next to the thing that you're still missing. So if I complete this quest, I will get 8 items, for example. This massively simplifies the display. It reduces clutter and makes the progress feel way less overwhelming, and it just looks way nicer. ATT also has options to automatically pop up lists whenever you enter zones, raids, or dungeons. Personally, I disable all auto open options except for the profession list. For example, if you go to features in the settings and we go to the right, you can have it automatically skip cutscenes, automatically open the big main list, automatically open the mini list. So if you zone inside a dungeon, it'll automatically open any of these lists that you have checked. Note that I have everything disabled. I only have the professions list enabled. Anytime I open my profession tab, it opens the ATT profession list as well every single time. I don't have to manually open it myself. This just makes it less annoying for when you're constantly traveling in between zones or constantly farming the same dungeon over and over again, and you don't want to deal with spam closing that tab or it spam opening non-stop. A cool little thing that I love as well that adds a little bit of uniqueness to your account as well is under interface accessibility, we go all the way to the bottom. I enable use class color for border. It doesn't change the functionality, but it makes the ATT Windows border match the class that you're logged in. So for example, when I'm on Pally, the border is pink. If I was on Mage, it would be blue. No, DK would be red. Finally, let's talk about the sound. If you go to ATT under Audio, Features, Audio, I set my ATT to the master channel, and I enable Collect Things Trigger a Celebration. For the sound pack, I personally use the April Fool's pack. Every time I collect something and get a +1, I hear like a little fun sound, and it makes each collectible feel a little bit cooler, a little bit more rewarding. Picking the channel that this is on is very important because that'll control the sound level of the actual celebration noise. You can also check Remove Things Trigger a Warning to play a sound whenever you lose an item on your account. If you're brand new to collecting, or even a veteran who feels very burnt out, I recommend keeping things simple. Turn off account mode, just track your main class at first. Turn off plus sources, don't stress over duplicate items just yet. Farm on one character, get your +1s, and the more you complete on that one character, you can start delving off into other things. Focus on easing collections first. Pets, toys, mounts, achievements. This prevents overload and teaches you the completionist mindset without drowning you in clutter. Once you're comfortable, turn on account mode to track across every single class on your account. Experiment with plus sources to hunt down duplicate appearances. Expand into more classes in harder collectible category. Remember, progress happens one farm at a time, one drop, 1+1 at a time. When it comes to being a new collector, there are certain things on ATT that are tracked that are not ranked on ranking websites and can be turned off completely if you just don't care about acquiring things that are not ranked. For example, if we go into the main page, we have tons of different items on here that are technically tracked, but they are not ranked, such as illusions, campsites, character unlocks, flight paths, followers, Azurite, conduits, rune carving powers, mount modifications, skywriting. All these sort of things are not counted. Certain things in skywriting are counted, so make sure you keep track of that. But the skywriting manuscripts are not counted in rankings. So if you're a newer collector, I would advise turning these off as well. But if you want to collect everything in the game, obviously keep it turned on. Sometimes ATT doesn't update instantly when you collect something, and that's normal. The quick fix is to hold down shift and left click the icon. This will force a refresh. But there's more. There's the sync feature as well. If you right click the icon and you go to the sync feature, you want to make sure that you click automatically sync account data. If you play on one account, it's very simple. This is all you need to do. So you go to features, sync, check automatically sync account data. This makes sure that your collections update properly whenever you refresh. If you juggle multiple accounts like I do, here's how to sync them. On both accounts, you're going to go to features, sync, linked accounts, and you're going to make sure you automatically have checked sync account data on both accounts. Click add linked character and account. On each account, type something in chat of the character that you want to link on. So for example, on this account, I'm going to tab into my other account, type something in chat, hold down shift, left click, copy the name, go back to this character, click add, paste the name, add it. Then I'm going to do the same thing on here. Type something, shift click, copy, tab back in the other account, add the name. The reason you're shift left clicking the name in the chat is to copy it verbatim so that when you paste it in the linked box account, it's accurate. You're going to repeat this on both accounts. From now on, whenever you log into both accounts at the same time, ATT will sync progress across them automatically. It's very important to note that you need to stay logged in on both accounts until the sync finishes. If you log out too soon, some collections won't be properly updated. This is especially crucial for professionals. Recipes don't automatically sync across accounts, so if your blacksmithing or alchemist is on a different WoW account, you'll need to log in them alongside your main collector to update recipes. Note that the characters that you're updating on do not have to be on the same server. You just have to link them and be logged in on both characters at the same time for this to properly work. If the dual boxing part of this video feels a little bit overwhelming and confusing, don't worry, I already have a full dual boxing guide up on my channel. For those of you just starting out with the 2-account playstyle, I'll be releasing an updated and even more in-depth version soon of that guide. So if you're new to collecting and you're interested in dual boxing, definitely keep an eye out for that. At the end of the day, collecting in World of Warcraft isn't about forcing yourself into some rigid grind. Having a routine or mindset definitely helps, but the golden rule is very simple. Just do whatever you actually enjoy doing whenever you want to do it. If you log in and the thought of farming a specific mount or toy or pet or anything just feels bad, or it feels like you're pulling your teeth out, then just don't. Leave that collectible unchecked and go do something else. The beauty of WoW is that it's not going anywhere. It's gonna be around forever. That rare you don't feel like farming today, it's still something that'll be there tomorrow, next month, next year. Point of collecting is to chase those little dopamine hits, the rush of looting a mount, the satisfaction of completing a quest line, the moment when you finally check off an item off your list. If you burn yourself out grinding something you don't even want to be doing in the first place, you lose the joy that makes collecting so addictive in the first place. One of the best parts of being a collector is that this is a lifetime project, not a 1 season or a 1 tier or a 1 month or a 1 year sprint. The game is constantly evolving, expansions keep adding more and more, and the journey never really ends. That means you don't have to force yourself to rush. In fact, spreading it out keeps the whole experience fresh and new. Maybe you skip a grind now, and when you visit it in 2 years later, you're stronger, there's a new gear, there's new flying, new skips, new quality of life account-wide changes, right? That make the whole process 10 times easier. Suddenly, the task that felt miserable is fun, fast, and rewarding. That's the long-term payoff of patience. Now, a lot of people always ask me how I keep from avoiding burnout. Burnout is the #1 reason collectors quit. They dive too deep, too fast, and turn what should be passion into a second job or like a chore list or just something they don't want to do. That's the exact opposite of what you want. Collecting should feel like an adventure, not an obligation. So if you ever feel stuck, remind yourself that it's okay to skip it, it's okay to take breaks, it's okay to come back later, it's okay to not do it right now because you don't want to do it. The game will always wait for you, and sometimes the collectibles are even more fun when you return fresh in a couple of years and with new motivation in mind, right? Collecting isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about those little wins stacking up over months and years until one day you realize you built something massive on your account, and you'll look back and you'll see how amazing your account is 5 years from now. So use ATT to guide you, lean on the mini list to stay focused, and above all else, play on your own terms, because when you're having fun, the collection doesn't feel like a chore, and it doesn't feel like something that you have to do. It feels like something that you want to do. Whether you're chasing your first 100 mounts or pushing World Rank 1 Completionist, ATT is essential for every single collector. It organizes your collection into clear categories, shows exactly what you're missing, tells you where to get it, integrates the tooltips and navigation, and turns collecting into a game within a game. Without it, you're basically guessing. With it, you have a roadmap to 100% completion. And that's pretty much it for ATT, guys. That's the full breakdown. The add-on every collector should be using. If this guide helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss my upcoming guides. Catch me live at twitch.tv/KillerKTV. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.